Welcome to another Demarcation Media Blokees review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers 1 Classic Class Elita-1. Now I'm a little behind with this one. Blokees releases things so incredibly fast that I'm always a little bit behind. But we're finally going to take a look at her up close. I am actually looking forward to this quite a bit. Big thank you to Blokees for sending this along. They did provide this for me for review. However, that does not affect what I say about this figure because you cannot buy good reviews on this channel. The box is, as always, fantastic. This metallic scheme is great. I love the Transformers 1 Autobot symbol here. We got a bit of the city in the background. Get to see the fact that there is no glue needed here. Around the side, that's super cool. I don't know what that symbol is. That's not one that I recognize, but the graphic design on this is just so great. Around this side, that's very display-like. If you have the other Classic Class boxes, putting them on a shelf like this and having the figure and then their like Alliance symbol there, it just looks really good. And then around the back, we get all the runners. Get to see a little blurb about her. Looks really, really good. Let's go ahead and grab the figure. Now, the figure was built live, so if you want to watch that, I'll pop the card up in the corner. And yeah, let's take a closer look. And there she is. Now, she's looking a little small. I want to get some of the other figures in for size comparison. So here is Optimus. You can see he is a good head taller than she is. We've got Megatron, who is about the same size because he's very, very comparable to Optimus. We've got Sentinel, who absolutely dwarfs her just by sheer bulk. And then I also wanted to bring in a more standard 6-inch figure. You can see she is quite a bit shorter than Mando. Also, here is a Galaxy version figure. This is Galaxy version 06 IDW Megatron. And then here is one of Blokees Marvel figures. And then, just because I'm obsessed with this figure, here is the Bayverse Prime, who is actually quite shorter than, like, this one, this Prime. So, he's kind of in between. But now I'm talking about Bayverse Prime, so I need to get him off screen, or else this video is going to just turn into me talking about Bayverse Prime again. Detail-wise, she looks fantastic. Her head is done really, really well. There's some nice print work going on there. Mine has a bit of separation between the face and that one little cheek guard section. I could just glue that. That's a little frustrating because, yeah, if I just push it on, it just comes right back off. The mold work for the sides of her head is fantastic, though. You can see silver on the top. The chest, very well done. There's some print there and some color separation. And then we get the skirting piece. Now, the skirting piece does move a little bit. We'll look at that a little closer when we do the articulation. The legs are done quite well, actually. You can see even a bit of her like motorcycle wheels, which is great. Around the back, that's color separated, which is really nice. And then we get to see some of the mechanical detail showing through on her arms, which is great. And then her hands have some color separated stuff as well. That overall just looks really good. I don't have any major complaints. Obviously, the eyes do have a little bit of that dead eye look because they are light up. They actually lit up just now because you light up the lights inside by just whacking the chest. So it is lit up currently, but in my studio, it's pretty much impossible to see. Also, her eyes don't pipe the light as well as some of the others that I've seen, just due to how her eyes are designed, or I guess maybe the plastic type. So yeah, you need a dark environment to actually be able to see it. So what does the articulation look like? So for her head, she can look up. That's pretty good. Downward is limited. You get a full 360 if you want it. Not sure why you'd want it. Her shoulders are really cool. They're actually double jointed, so you can kind of pop them down like that, or you can pop them way up like that, so you can have her shrug pretty well. She can get out to the sides, about that much. Elbow bend, we have basically 90. That's about what most Blokees get. The wrists, they did this weird thing with the Transformers 1 figures where the inside of the wrist is more cut out than the outer part. So you get good inward, but not as good outward. And up and down is a little bit limited, so I don't really know why they did that. You get a swivel that goes to about here, and then you start hitting the skirting pieces. The skirt pieces can lift up like that. Then you can get perfect splits. That's great. And then the knee bend, also about 90, which is standard for a Blokees figure. Forward and back and side to side on the ankles, pretty good. I don't feel like I would want much more. Like, that's pretty solid. You get a rotation at the knee. You can also rotate up here on the ball joint. However, if you want to get the leg up really far, so you can only get it up about that far, unless you rotate it, and then you can get the foot up about that far. However, if you turn it too much, you can easily just lever the leg off. So that's a little frustrating. I don't really know how they could have gotten around that, to be honest, but it's a thing, because yeah, you just don't get much normally. You really do need to get that rotation and then do that. But yeah, usually when I'm trying to put her back from being in a pose like that, it's not, yeah, it's just annoying. The leg just pops off. But you can get things like crouching without too much trouble. Now, she doesn't have an ab crunch or anything, so you are going to be, limited in that regard. But overall, she's very fun to pose. The hips are just the main thing that I would say I have a problem with. Accessories. Now, this is where Elita is the most bare bones. She comes with this stand. It's the same stand as all the other Classic Class figures come with. 2 pieces, and then it comes with the add-on effect parts. These pink effect parts are great. It's nice to get these little digital ones in all the different colors, so that's cool. But then beyond that, you literally just get an extra hand set. So you get a pair of fists and a pair of open hands, which is great. But then the only other thing you get is the gun. Now, this is the same gun that Optimus came with, so you can now have 2. And that's it. She doesn't really come with much else. The gun does look great. I think it looks kind of hilarious how giant it is in her hands. And then, getting the stand is nice and whatnot. Extra hands, but still, I feel like something more could have been added here to bring the value up a bit. Well, there you have it. That is the Classic Class Elita-1. Now, I will say, I feel like out of all the Transformers 1 figures, she provides the least value in terms of just like bulk and parts that you get. But if you are a fan of Elita, this is a great representation. They got the like slim look down really well. The articulation, like I said, great. The hips are a little bit fiddly, but other than that, really no complaints. So in my mind, this is a really good figure. Again, just size-wise and the amount of accessories she has does give you the least bang for your buck. But if you want to complete that Transformers 1 Classic Class lineup, you're gonna need to get her. She is available on the Blokees website, so I will have the links down in the description if you want to pick her up. Now, I want to know, what do you think of this figure? What do you think of the Transformers 1 Classic Class lineup as a whole? And now, there is 2 more coming in the Classic Class lineup for Transformers 1. We don't know if there's going to be any more. I hope there will be more. So I also want to know, what do you think, or who do you think we should also get before Blokees kind of wraps up the Transformers 1 stuff? Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.